Okay, guys, so thank you for being back. I appreciate it. If you've been watching my content, you see that I'm all about business, guys. That's my only purpose here is to motivate you to go into business, to motivate you to be successful, to break the 9 to 5 curse that a lot of us growing up just had to accept, right? Because we didn't know any better, and now you do. Now you know better, guys. So that's what my content's about. It's about motivating you. I've been a business owner for 15 years now. I just celebrated my anniversary of being in business, 15 years, guys. And I started when I was 24 years old, and I never looked back. Design business, construction business, investment business, and I'm a pretty good damn trader too, guys. So anyways, enough about me. This is all about you. I want you to take that leap of faith, heaven through business. And I actually forgot to turn on my sign, which I will. Let's see. There you go. Kabam. So forgot to turn on the sign, guys. So heaven through business is the anthem that I live by. You can have a little piece of heaven while you're here because we're all leaving one day. And that's through having a business, guys. No 2 days are alike when you own a business. Keep that in mind. So with that in mind, let's go into lesson number 4. And this lesson, guys, is for people that are already in business. But I want you to keep this lesson in the back of your mind as you start your business, as you start getting customers, as you start to see revenue and repeat business and some of the other things I talked about, right? Keeping your profits, having great customer service, all of those things. Value over volume, guys. Value over volume. What does that mean? It means you have to decide early on who is your target customer. And what do I mean by that? Do you want to be a Louis Vuitton concept, or do you want to be a Michael Kors concept, or whatever, Calvin Klein concept? Or do you want to be a Payless, for those of you guys who remember Payless? Or you get the point, right? So depending on the business you have to understand who you are trying to target, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a bunch of volume and you're not going to know what to do with it, or you're not going to know your margins and you're going to have terrible customer service. On top of that, you're probably not going to make a profit because you don't know what you're getting into with some of these potential customers, right? So value over volume is a very simple concept that I prefer, which is you don't need to have a large volume of customers if your ticket item is right. So in sales, the preferred, let's just assume for a minute you're a real estate agent or you're a car sales guy. What would you rather sell? $1 million house or 10 $100,000 homes? Do you want 10 headaches or do you want one headache for the same amount of profit? So if I was a car salesman, my goal would be to be selling Lamborghinis, Ferraris, anything with a high ticket, because you have to understand the headaches, the problems are the same, and in some cases, you have more problems and more headaches in the lower tier of customers. So you as a business owner get to decide. That's the luxury of being a business owner. You get to decide what is it that you want your market to be. It all depends how you position yourself. How do you brand yourself? So if I'm trying to sell Ferraris, I have to brand myself to be a Ferrari salesman. Now, I don't know what it takes to sell Ferraris. I'm giving you the concept. For me, in my design business and construction as a custom builder, commercial builder, industrial builder, we've done all kinds of projects. But the concept for me is very simple. I only want the upper echelon of customers. One, I know that I can bring the value, and that's the other part of value over volume. You also have to bring value to the relationships, right? If you're bringing a Ferrari, that's the value there. If you're selling an object or a product or anything that you are essentially just reselling or distributing, it's a little simpler because as long as the product meets the expectations of the person purchasing it, then you're in good shape. They're not gonna blame you if the Ferrari breaks down. That's out of your hands, right? So your job is to market and promote and sell that product, whatever product that may be. It could be expensive purses, it could be homes, it could be cars, it could be pumps for the oil industry, it could be pool tables, whatever that is, right? It could be fans. One of my good friends sells fans, big ass fans. Shout out to Big Ass Fans, a great fan company. So the point of all that is you have to know your market. Why would I want to sell $200,000-300,000 homes when I could sell $3 to $4 million homes? I mean, that's just my thinking, right? That's just how I think, and that's how I think successful people think. And obviously, when you start, you might not have that luxury, but you have to align your goals with the people that are in that specific niche or industry, right? If you're going to invest time, choose value over money. It's very simple, guys. I remember before when I started, I was doing my average ticket sale was about $50,000 to $100,000. And then as I started to scale, my average ticket sale is from 500,000 to $2 million. So on a $2 million deal, I would have had to sold 20 $100,000 deals. That's 20 problems versus one problem, and I could eat all of these small deals up. So whatever industry you're in, you have to position yourself. And remember, guys, business is like chess, right? And you guys that love chess, I am a decent chess player, so I'm not trying to sound like a professional, but every move you make has to have a purpose. That's how business is. So if you're investing your time in the right circles with the right products, why would I align myself to a terrible product, right? Why would I sell a knockoff when I'm just a reseller, I'm a distributor, it's just passing through my hands, right? Remember, money is like the flow of river, cash flow. Money is always moving hands, right? You have to put yourself in that flow of cash. But why would I invest in something that makes no sense for my bottom line, right? If I'm going to sell cup holders, I want to sell the best cup holders in the market because those are going to have the best margin. People are willing to pay for your service or for your product when you have the value, right? And when they see the value. So this is one of those things that it's easier said than done because when you're starving, when you're starting, your instinct is to take everything that comes, right? And that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we have to pay our dues. Everybody has to pay their dues. But what I'm saying is sometimes you go down the wrong lane, somebody steers you in the wrong direction, and you lose sight of what your actual purpose is, which is to make the most amount of profit, to make the best of your business as you possibly can. And sometimes, especially in the beginning, you're going to get people that are going to test you, that are going to try to push you, that are going to try to take from you. And a lot of times, the biggest asset you have in the beginning is time, right? You might not have a lot of cash, but you probably have a lot of time. And you probably already have a skill or a product that people want. That's why you went into business. So if your biggest asset is time, wouldn't you want to invest it where you get the most value exchange rate for that time, right? Wouldn't you want to maximize the potential of that time? Because remember, guys, time is money, and that's a very true statement. And not the way you probably learned it, because time is money doesn't mean I want to work 15 hours a day to get X amount of dollars for my time. No, we're not hourly workers, guys. You're business owners. Your whole purpose is to make business happen, right? So smart people, they know a good deal off the back. And you have a gut feeling. If your gut feeling is telling you this is not a good investment of my time, this is not a good product that I want to have in my catalog, this is not a good customer that I want to have on my client list, then don't chase it, guys. You can respectfully decline to do business with people. You don't have to take everything that comes your way. You don't have to sell every product that's out there. So right now I'm opening up a small showroom, and a lot of people, when they go look at products, there might be one or two products they really like. And you know what? That product tends to be the most expensive product in that row, in that line item. So my concept right now that I'm working on is I want to have a showroom of the best possible products that exist, that are in the market. Why? Because why am I going to waste people's time looking at the cheap imitation and waste my time when we can just sell the real deal? So whatever that product is, like I said, or whatever that service is, that's the value that you want to present to people. The best product, the best service. And that's choosing value over volume, guys. Not everybody is meant to be your customer, right? Not everybody is meant to have your time, because your time is worth something to somebody that is willing to pay for it. So why are you going to waste your time on somebody that doesn't see the value? I remember one of my good friends, an Italian guy, and one of the people that believed in me early on, Joe Abioli. Shout out to Joe. And I remember I referred him to a deal, and this is all facts, guys. 100%. I referred him to a customer, multi-million-dollar deal, and he sold this piece of property. He's a real estate agent, by the way. And I had a customer, and he wanted to sell the house. It was a $2 million house. at the time, commissions were still 6%. So 3% to the seller's agent, 3% to the buyer's agent. So 3%. And so 3% of 2 million is around 120,000, I think. Whatever it is, it's a lot of money for a commission, right? So he sold the deal. The market was good. House was hot. It was in a good area in Westview in Houston, Texas. And he sold it in 4 days. And he said, Alicio, hey, thank you for the referral. I got you a Starbucks coffee card, which I was fine with. I didn't want anything from him. But we had some coffee, or we talked. I remember we talked. And I remember him telling me, even myself, I would always question the value of real estate agents, honestly. Early on, now I see great value in them. Um, and I remember him telling me, he said, I don't want to work for people that don't see the value in what I do. I don't want to work for people that think that I don't do anything other than open the door to their house. And the more I thought about that, I said, you know what, that makes sense. And the guy is real prideful in his job and what he does. He lives in Miami now, I think. He lives in Florida. I think he lives in Miami or lives out there. And that always kind of stuck with me because I said, you know what, you're right. Why would I want to work for somebody that does not see the value in what I do? Because then you're begging for their approval, right? Then you're truly just their employee. And business is not an employee boss relationship. The best business is always mutual beneficial for both parties. So the deals I like to make is where we all win. That's just how I am. That's how I operate. And I've done all kinds of deals with all kinds of people. I've done all kinds of deals. I've done deals that have nothing to do with what I do for a living every day. But if I see a good deal, I take it, because a good deal doesn't see color, it doesn't see race, it doesn't care how you feel that day, it doesn't care if you're fat or ugly or skinny. A good deal would just make you good money. And that's what I'm about, is good deals. But that means that person that you're doing the deal with or the business with sees the value in you. They don't want to just use you, right? They don't want to just, hey, this guy, we'll just get any real estate agent. They don't do anything. Even car salesmen, let's give them some respect, right? They talk so much crap about a car salesman, but do you know how stressful that job must be? At the end of the day, they're doing a job, right? So you have to appreciate the people that you do business with. And you, as a business owner, have to appreciate yourself and the value you have to offer, and only work with people that appreciate you and your value. And that's what I mean by value over volume. You don't want to just take any old body as a customer. I wouldn't. You're not a thrift shop, right? Welcome all with open hands. We got good deals. People, people still complain at thrift shops, I bet. I bet you they still go in there and complain about the prices at the thrift shop. So you're never going to make everybody happy. And you don't want to, right? So value over volume, guys, is something that you're going to have to take to heart if you want your business to be successful. I have a good friend, an older doctor, that explains it this way. And I tell you these things because I learn from the people around me that are business owners as well. I learn from other people's mistakes. That has allowed me to be successful short period of time. And the way he preached it to me is, you don't need 50 customers. You only need 10 to 20 good customers that appreciate your value. So if I'm a vendor, and let's just say I have Walmart as my customer and they appreciate my product, and you know they're going to buy in volumes because it's Walmart, why would I jeopardize that relationship to go give my product to the corner thrift shop that are complaining about my price, right? And that's just a general example. It might not make any sense. I don't sell anything to Walmart, but what I'm saying is, whatever industry you're in, there's going to be people that appreciate the value you bring. There's going to be people that will question your price, they will question your integrity, and they will question your whole operation because they didn't like the price you gave them, or they don't like the price of the product. And they use the famous words, well, I could get it cheaper at X place, right? Do you really want to deal with those kind of people in your business? I don't. So, to summarize, value over volume, guys. If you take that to heart and you understand the principles of everything that you have to offer, including your time that has value, then your business will grow and prosper at maybe a slower pace, because it does take time to weep out those bad customers and those bad sales. But once you start streamlining it, and once those people start referring you to other people, and you start your never ending circle of networking that happens when you have good value. People talk about good value. Then you can be successful, and business will just repeat, 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 right? So thank you guys for listening to the full episode. Follow. I really enjoy doing these videos. I hope it helps people. And if there's even just one person I help, that's okay with me. So thank you.